Hello everyone. Well, it's been a while and I've got an opportunity today to go for a little walk on my own in the woods. So I thought, what a better opportunity than this to bring you with me. So I'm here at the Norfolk Wildlife Trust site at East Wretham, and it is a beautiful site full of varied landscapes. So let's go and explore it, shall we? Come on then. Now I've stopped by this flower because it grows in abundance here, all around us. And it's a plant that I really like. One of the reasons is because I can identify it and I'm happy with the familiar. But another reason is, living on this plant, I can almost certainly guarantee you'll find at some time a caterpillar, a yellow and black caterpillar. And I've got one on here. There it is, sitting at the back there. And even if I come here, there's another one that's already made a meal of this ragwort. And there's another at the back. Now this caterpillar belongs to the cinnabar moth. And if we're lucky, we might be able to find one round here. It's a black and red moth, so quite striking. Now this is grassland. And there are lots of animals that prefer to live here in grassland than they do in the woods. And one of those has left lots of evidence of its presence right here. There's lots and lots of rabbit's poo. And if you look around as well, you can find lots and lots of burrows, which is where the rabbits live. So here's a rabbit's burrow, and there's another one there, and another one over there. And there's many more down that hole. Rabbits live in a burrow, and a collection of burrows is known as a warren. Just like I live in a house, but my house is on a street, and my street is in an estate. So rabbits live in a burrow in a warren. Now a lot of the burrows and the warrens around here have actually been abandoned, but there are still some that are well in use. And I can tell that this one here is still being used. And I can tell that by those little tiny little dimples there in the ground. That's the tracks of rabbits. Now they've been using this probably today, if not last night, and they're still there. If it was abandoned, that would be all smooth and we wouldn't be able to see those lumps and bumps. One of the reasons I like this place is because it has a variety of environments. First of all, we have the wide open grassland up to my neck in ferns, next to broadleaf woodland and trees like this oak, and then surrounded by conifers like this Scots pine with its early cones. Now this little blue flower I found here is known as Viper's bugloss, and it's a beautiful flower, really delicate little petals, and is loved by bees and insects. It's another good one for farmers to know about because it's poisonous if eaten, and that's both to humans and animals as well. And also it has hairs all up and down the stem and just underneath the leaves here, and they can cause a nasty irritation, a little bit worse than a stinging nettle to some people. So good to know, beautiful, but let's not touch and definitely let's not eat. Now this flower here is known as dark mullein, and it's found all over Europe and the Mediterranean, and it flowers every year, and after it's flowered the plant will die. And apparently the leaves are used to treat respiratory and lung illnesses such as asthma. As you walk around East Wretham, you get these little clues as to the history of this place. Due to the flat nature of Norfolk, lots of parts of Norfolk were taken over for American air bases, and East Wretham was one of them. And you'll find lots of little installations hidden around. A lot of them now have been reclaimed by nature, and some of them have become sanctuaries for bats. So if you do come and visit here, do observe for a distance and don't go disturbing those bat sanctuaries, because they're really important, and all bats in the UK are protected. I've mentioned the grassland, the ferns, the broadleaf woodland, the coniferous woodland, but this place has one more habitat that makes it really, really special, and it's just up ahead. This is what I really came for. The sound of the water, the occasional call of the bird, the blowing wind. It's very calm, very still, very peaceful. And from here I can see dragonflies, swans, got grey lag geese, Canadian geese, moorhens, coots, and once or twice I've seen a lapwing up here. And it's just a lovely place to come and sit and be quiet. Now, one of the interesting things about these waters, which are known as a fluctuating mere, there's only a handful of these across the Brecklands, and in fact these are unique in the UK. You don't find them anywhere else. And what makes them really unique is the fact that they're not fed by rainfall, they're actually fed by the water under the ground that comes up through the chalk layer below us. And they can actually dry out completely, and so you'll find there's not lots and lots of vegetation in there. They formed about 12,000 years ago, the last time that we were covered in glaciers. And what's really interesting is the fact these meres are usually at their highest in the summer and can dry out completely in the winter, which to me and to other people feels a little bit backwards. Now I've actually come here on one of the hottest days of the year, and I'm going to let you into a little trick of mine. Really, really important to keep yourself hydrated in this weather. But also, I want to keep our water nice and cool. And I have a little trick to that. If I can get it out, I've got a little ice pole in here. This one's a Tango one, but any ice pole will do, and it helps to keep your water nice and cool. Also means in a minute I've got an ice pole I can have, but not yet. It was lovely being in that hide. It was starting to get quite hot in there. It was almost like a sauna. But now I'm into that different environment again. I'm out into this coniferous woodland. And the temperature is much, much cooler. Easily 5 degrees, if not more, cooler in here. The sound's different. The feeling is different. It smells much sweeter out here as well because of the pine, the sap in the pine. It's much, much sweeter. And it kind of gives that fragrant smell to the air. It's gorgeous. And what's lovely is around us we have all these ferns. And every now and again I hear the rustle and the running of something slightly bigger than a bird. It could be deer, and it could even be, rabbit, it could be stoats, weasels, it could be squirrels, but off they go. It's a very special place. Now I've only just sat down, but there's a bench up here. I think I might have a little bit of a snack. Now, while I was sitting there on my bench, having my snack, I noticed this grey haze over the grass here, or the silica grass as this is known. This is silica grass. And I've looked closer and I've discovered what it is. It's sheet webs. They're spiders' webs. They're trying to catch their food too. Now, there are arguably 6 different types of web, and a little bit of a Googling and you'll be able to find those out. But these ones are sheet webs. And the idea of these is that the spider creates this sheet, like this one, and then hangs out underneath, and then ambushes any insects from above. And if we look closely, there's the spider. This web I've just found is a funnel web, and just down there is the center of the funnel where the spider will wait to catch its prey. Oh, and there he is. Just make out their legs in there. If you do decide to come here for a day out for yourselves and you're a little bit worried about walking the woods and think you might get lost, there's some nice easy to follow signs, and it's just a circular walk and you can either go anti-clockwise or clockwise. As I mentioned earlier, there's a variety of different environments and habitats here. Like, for example, this one behind me here, which is a very natural woodland, and then this one. It's a plantation. And as you can tell, these trees are all the same species. They're grown really close together, and because of that, they're growing really straight, very tall, very, very quickly. And this was intentional. It's how we produce sustainable timber in the UK. And when these trees reach a certain age, they'll be felled, the bark will be stripped off, they'll be cut into planks and sold as timber for the building trade or, well, anything else that we need timber for, maybe even paper. This route joins a long-distance footpath known as the Peddar's Way. And the Peddar's Way follows the path of an ancient Roman road. That means along this path, people as far back as the Romans have travelled from Thetford, or what was Thetford, all the way down to the Norfolk coast. I bet this could tell some stories. Now this plant I've just stopped at, I don't know if you can see there, it's called Scotch Broom, and it's covered in these seed pods. Now I don't know if you could hear this, but this popping noise that you might be able to hear, which is all around, is actually the seeds in this heat drying out and bursting open and spreading their seed, and that's exactly what they do. In Italian folklore, Scotch Broom was burnt to deter and to get rid of witches. I don't know if you can hear that, but the crickets around here are really loud. It's like something out of a western. Something else that I really like about East Wretham is the fact that not only do they have the mere that we visited earlier, which is the Langdale Mere, they also have another one called Ringmere, and it has a very interesting hide. It's just up ahead. exactly the same as the other mere. This mere is at its highest in the summer and often dries up completely in the winter. It's all to do with the water coming up through the chalk layer, not so much about the rain, because this is one of the hottest days of the year so far, and there's a lot of water there, and there hasn't been rain, well, hasn't been rain of any quantity for about a fortnight, if not longer. I don't know if you can hear that clicking sound. That's the Scotch Broom seeds bursting open and spreading, just like earlier. Now just beside Ringmere, there's another little pond, and I've just come up to it. I'm going to be really quiet now, because there's a grey heron right in the middle of it. Have a look. Do hope you enjoyed our little adventure today, and thank you for coming along with us. We primarily make our videos aimed at young people and children, but of course we do know that we have some adult followers, and of course we would ask you, if you enjoyed this, that you like, subscribe and share on to someone else who may have young children, or even to the children themselves. And don't forget to come back. So until next time, take care.